Here's a message from today's episode's sponsor.
At RxSafe, we believe in improving patient health by challenging conventional wisdom, upending the status quo, and transforming the retail pharmacy industry. Our innovative technology solutions are designed to accelerate your pharmacy's success and change the way you do business. We develop long-term partnerships with pharmacies and other industry innovators to help attract new customers, create additional revenue streams, and transform the traditional pharmacy model. Become the adherence packaging leader in your community and practice at the top of your pharmacy license. Get started today. Visit RxSafe.com. That's RxSafe.com to learn more.
You're listening to the Pharmacy Podcast Network.
Pharmacy Profit Summit Live 2023 here in Orlando. This was put together by Dr. Lisa Fast, and this is where I want to be. My name is Todd Eury, Pharmacy Podcast Network founder, and I tell you what, this organization has attracted some of the most innovative pharmacy owners. We had an opportunity once again to work with RxSafe to gather together a panel of pharmacy owners who are leveraging technology as well as building new profits within their communities and their community pharmacies. I'd like to introduce to the Pharmacy Podcast listeners three of these incredible pharmacy owners: Joe Williams, Adam Robinson, and Easton, Bryant. We're going to start off with Joe. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Pharmacy Profit Summit Live 2023, Joe. I'm so excited to have you here.
Todd, thank you for having me.
So we were concentrating on profit. That's the whole purpose of this conference. You're not coming here to really, it's not advocacy per se, although advocacy rolls out of it. This is about building profit in a community pharmacy, an independent community pharmacy. Please tell us how you've leveraged technology, packaging, positioning in your community in order to build those profits, in order to strengthen you, which actually strengthens your community.
Sure thing. When I think about the successes that we've had in our pharmacies and the profits that we've seen as they've grown, I think one of the major components of that success and growth has been the addition of the Rapid Pack into our workflow. We were initially packing a tremendous number of patients into traditional multi-dose blister packaging, and we had just had arrived at a point where we were no longer being as effective as we wanted to be. The amount of time that it was requiring of our pharmacists and technicians to keep up with that volume, we had become inefficient to the point where we were afraid of growth. And as a business owner, and no matter what industry you're in, that is a terrible place to be, where you're afraid to add on more patients because you're already staying 2 hours late, you're already coming in the weekend, and we needed a solution that would help move us into that next arena, where we could continue to grow and push out and start advocating for ourselves again to grow and grow. And so by adding the Rapid Pack in, we won back so much time in our day-to-day operations that we were reinvigorated to go out and expand into new markets. For the first time, we were looking at additional counties. We had been operating in what we considered our world, which was, the small municipality that we were in and say 10 miles in either direction. Now we have routes that go 50 and 60 miles out past where we live. And in doing that, we found more and more underserved patients. We found that there was more and more opportunities in outlying areas. And what's ended up happening is the Rapid Pack has introduced us to new physicians in new markets. It's introduced us to nonprofit community groups. It's introduced us to, say, home health agencies that have brought us patient after patient, and that's allowed us to establish ourselves in areas that we never saw us existing in. That has also opened the door for us to look at purchasing new stores in those markets so that we could serve those patients on a daily basis in addition to those packages that we were taking to them.
That scalability wasn't there before, where you had only was it one store, and then you expanded to how many into different counties?
So we just acquired our 4th across 2 counties. We started with one store. This was a low volume store. This was your typical independent pharmacy that had been open for 100 years, quite honestly. And, you know, it served the community that it existed in.
Okay.
And what we found as we started packaging, we started taking care of patients, that, you know, there were other patients in other areas that did not have access to the kind of quality service, care, expertise that we were offering. You know, we were going into their homes. They had never had anybody from a pharmacy standing in their living room before. So we were going into the home. We were doing MedRex live and in person. We were making sure that they knew that we were the kind of pharmacy that was concentrating ourselves on their success, on them, you know, improving their health outcomes. And as we started building this brand, which we, you know, everybody knows as MedSmart in our market, the MedSmart brand became synonymous with a whole nother level of pharmacy care. And so when we would go to the next market and you would, you know, go in and introduce yourself to a physician group, they'd already heard about you.
Yep.
Because they knew that what you were doing over in the next town. And I'm shocked at the number of opportunities that still exist. You know, it's been one of the most rewarding thing that we've done, and we never could have done it if we were still manually packing blisters.
Yep.
We had reached capacity. There was going to be no more growth. We were afraid to sell. The Rapid Pack has opened all of those doors up for us. We're doing things in 1/10 of the amount of time that it took us to do it when we were doing it manually. And I always joke with every owner I talk to, you have way more money than you do time. Time is always the rate limiting step. So whenever you can use technology to win back time, you're headed in the right direction.
1 county to how many now?
9.
9.
We've expanded to 9 counties with our delivery model, and it's like the Rapid Pack, and it's like, you know, all the other things that we've done. We began with the end in mind. Once we started gaining more territory, we kept looking beyond it. Unfortunately, too many of, you know, independent pharmacies across the country think way too small, so we've started just thinking bigger. We don't say, all right, we're going to serve this area. We look at the state in terms of regions. Okay, we want to own this region. We want to be the pharmacy for compliance packaging delivered to your home, the concierge-style pharmacy for this area of the state. I don't want to be thought of as, you know, and I take that back. I do want to be thought of the little corner drugstore that you can get whatever you need, but I want there to be people, which is what we have, that live 3 counties away that don't even know where my pharmacy is, but they know that they get the best care that they've ever received.
Setting the bar higher,
Exactly.
expectations higher. The physicians know it, your patients know it. Joe with Brisson Drugs, you're setting new standards.
Exactly, and it's a standard that all of us can reach. You just need the right partners like the Rapid Pack.
Thank you.
My name's Steve Mackey. I'm the owner pharmacist at Spruce Mountain Pharmacy in Jay. We're in the Western Mountains of Maine. We're about an hour and a half northwest of Portland. We're a hybrid pharmacy, so we're offering traditional retail pharmacy services plus compounding. We're using the computer Rx software here to make us kind of unique in the market. We use the RxSafe Rapid Pack strip packaging program and hardware to make compliance packaging available for our patients who choose to have that as a service that we offer. When we brought the Rapid Pack pill packer into the system, we brought that in the same time we moved to the new building. And I remember seeing the machine roll in, and I was over the moon. I'm like, oh my gosh, the pill packing machine is here. I am so excited for this. That pill packing system has been a growth point of my pharmacy.
To learn more about how the RxSafe Rapid Pack system can help improve your pharmacy's efficiency and revenue, visit rxsafe.com. That's rxsafe.com.
All right, we're back. And I tell you what, this is a fun story. I like listening to Adam Robinson tell this story because I'm a marketer. It's in my heart to market. It's in my heart to communicate. To be able to leverage technology in your pharmacy, create new profits, new opportunities for your brand, and then market yourself differently than the big chain pharmacies or any other pharmacy that's not leveraging this. Adam, this is special. I want you to share with the listeners what you're doing right now and how you folded in RxSafe Rapid Pack technologies to really differentiate yourself.
Todd, I don't really know what I'm doing right now, to be honest with you. It changes every day. No, so we were in the same way that Joe was. we were old school blister packs, and it was just taking forever, and I felt like we weren't checking them correctly, and there's a lot to it. So sit and talk with RxSafe, and we pulled the trigger last year. Actually, it's probably a year and a half ago on the Rapid Pack. And then I had so much stuff going on. Lisa asked me to come and speak at Diversify, and then we kind of started a makeshift consulting, and we had this and we had that. And in all honesty, I didn't put the effort into the Rapid Pack at the beginning that I should have. We just transitioned our patients over to it. So this past, I guess, 6 months, I talked with the RxSafe team. They have a little marketing team together. They came out, met with us. They showed us opportunities we didn't even know we had. So it's kind of like Joe. Like, he had opportunities, but he didn't know until he got that one opportunity that led to another opportunity. And so the RxSafe team came out and they showed us what we had, even in our hometown, that we didn't even have a clue about. So, being this workflow whisperer, as Lisa says, I don't even know what that really means. But I decided to, hunker down and change my workflow with what I had with RxSafe. And I'm fortunate enough I have a standalone building with a full basement. I just moved my RxSafe down to the basement, built a whole little long-term care Rapid Pack area down there, put somebody in charge of it. We're working on that workflow now. I've got a GeriMed contract, so I'm no DIR fees with those, and so I'm refocusing now on what I should have been doing a year ago. It was so crazy. I just had so much going on. So I didn't lose value in what I had, but I wasn't getting value out of it, right? I was breaking even. And now I'm going to see that return on investment because of what they came and helped us do with the marketing, right? And so now I'm transitioning and we're figuring it all out. We're not, if people know who I am, I'm not afraid to change. We'll change something tomorrow if we have to. So that's where I'm at right now with my strip packaging. And then we're going to start expanding. So we got a jail contract that we're trying to get right now.
Yeah, you were telling me this story about the county jail and how there is expectations that are there in their administration, but they had no idea that you had this in the community.
Yeah, so they knew who I like the county, the jailer and his wife come to my pharmacy, and I couldn't get in to talk to them because I didn't have strip packaging, right? All I had were classic bubble packaging. But they also want, the cheapest price. Mm-hmm. Well, I couldn't do that with the time I was spending before, right? In my overhead. They want access to a nurse, maybe, right? So now I have time to not only do the strip packaging, get them a cheaper price, but now I have time to try to maybe help them find a nurse. Mm-hmm. So that's a whole nother model. Like now I'm in this admin thing. I don't even know what this is. So we got that piece going on. Our assisted living facilities in our little small town, we have 2 of them. Now they have the strip packaging. If a patient comes in, a new patient, they don't even give them an option. Mm-hmm. They call us, hey, we got a new patient coming in, and they want your strip packaging, right? Because those assisted living, the nurses can't administer the medicine. They can just open it up and dump it in their hand. So the opportunities have definitely opened up. But just like I've told you, and I've told Bill with RxSafe and all that stuff, you can put technology in a store, right, in your business, but it's what you do with it. And we've been fortunate enough that they've helped us figure that piece out. Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm innovative. The guys I'm sitting with are innovative, but sometimes we don't know it all. So you do need help, and you got to be okay to take that help. And they've helped us do that. So now we're in this whole new transition thing I'm super pumped up about. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. I want to also ask you about expansion. So you're building these new processes. You're teaching organizations like a county jail who probably doesn't have processes. And now once the reputation is set, you get a recommendation letter and you start passing it to the next administration, or you start passing it to the next state representative, or you start passing it to another care facility.
So at the very first Diversify, I met a guy from far western Kentucky, and we started talking about duck hunting. That's my passion. Well, he's passionate about it. Well, he actually has a jail business that services over 25 counties in the state and an independent pharmacy. So now my cogwheels are spinning, right? And I'm thinking, all right, he's doing the pharmacy stuff, but maybe he can offshoot some of his stuff that he can't handle to what I'm doing now that I can show him that I can do a jail contract.
Yep.
Right? I don't even know what a jail contract looks like, but I'm going to be able to figure it out.
Yep.
Right? So You
awesome.
got to be able to make that step and try it.
Adam, thank you so much for participating in this, and
Yeah.
we'll be right back. Hey, we're back. Pharmacy Profit Summit Live, the RxSafe post-show. It's excited to be working with teams of people that are passionate about community pharmacy, but changing community pharmacy. We can't sit still, have to keep moving, have to find new ways of creating new profits. Easton, Bryant, you are a rock star, and you have set some new standards with regards to supplements in leveraging strip packaging technology to brand yourself as someone who's really looking out for the health of your community, but more or less the quality of products that you're also representing. I need you to tell our listeners the story of your supplement build-out and how this is really trying to change the game in your community.
Sure. Glad to be here. So when I made the investment for the Rapid Pack RX, I started thinking about, it's a decent investment, and you got to think about, how can I leverage this in every way possible. Love the technology, love anything that differentiates us from what's around us. And I was like, I want everybody to see this, everybody to use this, So for me, I think when the light bulb kind of went off with supplements, obviously we installed in June of 2020. We all know what happened in 2020, right?
Yeah.
So people start ringing the phone. So, what is quercetin? What's melatonin? What is all this stuff? People started caring about vitamin D for the first time ever, which they should care about always. So we started putting together these protocols and doing packs, and we had one of the biggest employers in my small town. They were one of the, when COVID first hit, it was kind of like taboo, like, oh, did you hear so-and-so had COVID?
Yeah.
So there was one person that tested positive in that facility or in that company, and they were like, we need supplements for everybody.
Yep.
They have about 45 people on staff, and they were like, can you make us 45 of these packs right away? And I was like, absolutely. So I'm scurrying to get all the stuff together, and I took a picture of it. We had them all stacked up together and like ready for them to come pick up, and they happily paid for it. And we do invest in quality supplements because it's totally different from a profit standpoint, obviously, and also from an outcome standpoint. So that was kind of the first time I saw what we could do with supplements. And then, fast forward now in 2023, we've seen so many awesome opportunities come up since then, and we're shipping them internationally now. So
Yeah,
cool.
I want you to also share the fact that you set some standards, you started marketing these packs, and we were all surprised by some of the stats when people are thinking, everybody's going to want something that's cheap or inexpensive, and they're always going to go for the less expensive option. But you actually were offering, which is an amazing marketing technique, you were giving the public in your community two choices of your packs. And within those packs, there were specific supplements. So describe the two differences and then what ended up happening.
Yeah, so I get tons of emails and messages every day, like DMs or whatever you want to call it. And so many times somebody's like, hey, I've been watching your stuff. I know I'm not as healthy as I need to be. I just need to start making changes. What should I take, And I get that same message over and over again. And for me, there's like 5 things that almost everybody would benefit from taking. Tons of people are depleted on. So I started putting together, we have several packs on our website that are protocols. So I was like, I'm going to call this Easton's Foundational 5. So I start doing the math, putting the things in the pack, all quality stuff. It's $105. To a lot of people, that's sticker shock. Mm-hmm. But, you get what you pay for. It's totally different. I probably could have put the same things together in a pack for maybe, I don't know, less than $20 if I went the cheap route, which is not, doesn't agree with my philosophy and how I want to market our pharmacy and what we stand for. So I was like, okay, it's $105. Then I started looking at what I had in there, and there was a couple of things that I really would have felt better that I talked a lot about in my content. So magnesium L-threonate along with the chelated magnesium, and then vitamin K2 along with the D3. add those in, all of a sudden that pack goes from 105 to 149. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to put that out there because a lot of people know how I feel about those two supplements. So there might be a few people that want to pay the 149, and I'll just put it out there. So I rolled it out, both options, put some content out like, hey, we have these things now for you that just want to cover all the foundational bases. And yeah, as of today, 95% of the people buy the 149 pack, the plus pack is what I call it. The 105, maybe I shouldn't even put it on there at all. I don't know.
I think you'd leave it there because I think there's an element of a ramp up that is associated with their health, and they're listening to you and they're thinking this is making a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And I think still giving them the option. There's still going to be people that are going to pick up that 105, even an entry point, and then they may move upstream. So leaving those options, I think, is important. It's the infrastructure that you decided to invest in order to build this perception that is, of course, reality to people's health by using technology. But why did you choose that specific technology? Why did you choose the Rapid Pack?
Well, going back to making the decision to go all in, first of all, just doing strip packaging at all is a differentiator. And, I told a little bit of my story yesterday, but, we're in a small town with tons of competition. And just like Joe said, like, I've never looked at, boxing ourselves in as like, oh my gosh, we only have access to this many lives. This is never going to be anything. I look at it, first of all, I look at it as like surrounding counties. And now what the reality is now is like we ship to Japan, So anything. So the first thing was like differentiating ourselves from our market, local market. It set us apart. We're the first person to have, or first store to have anything like that. I always like to, sometimes I'm careful about being an early adopter, but that was something I could really see promise in investing in strip packaging. And then what I like about the RxSafe Rapid Pack is that the assurance that what we're doing is the right way with the camera systems. We were doing blister packs before, and sometimes it was really hard to make sure when you're going through and verifying that everything is really there that's supposed to be there. And, it would take a lot of time, and you had to question yourself sometimes when you're trying to make sure those 16 pills are in that little bitty pack on a blister pack, So the camera technology was super important to me. You got the infrared camera, you got the HD camera. You can always make sure it's on there. We got a 42-inch monitor where we verify each pack. We can always go back and show patients, hey, this is what was in that pack, no questions about that kind of stuff. And also the idea that you don't have to tap tons of inventory. You use what you need, and it's totally empty, and you do the next job. So
what
those two
that
things
technology inside the RxSafe system is doing is taking a whole bunch of pictures and then assuring that it's always consistent, and then knowing that if 16 didn't show up, or maybe there were 2 of the same pill, it's flagging you and it's telling you, hey, there's something wrong here.
Exactly.
So it's assuring that
it is peace of mind for a pharmacist, for sure. Yeah.
See, that's the scalability I'm talking about in order to move to that next level. But I have to give you credit too. You've married technology with social media. You've married systems and processes with the passion that you have to help people, and you really need both of that. And herein lies why RxSafe's customer base that taps into what they're doing from a marketing perspective is doing better than just picking up any other technology. You can pick up great technology. There's great systems out there, but it's the totality of everything that you're putting together and partnering with an organization that has been saturated and has evolved themselves in order to move with the times and move with what's happening in community pharmacy.
Yeah, so e-commerce is huge for us now. Even a year ago, it was something that was kind of a nice little addition to our bottom line. Something we didn't think a lot about. Now it's a very serious piece of our business, and especially with the gross profit margins we're able to achieve. So we're North Century Pharmacy. We kind of go by the nickname NCP. So our packs are NC packs. You can go on our website and type in for NC pack, and it'll tell you. It'll be quercetin for NC pack. Probiotic for NC pack. So you can go in and add those items into your cart, and we build it out custom. So you can do it yourself. You can actually reach out to me directly, and I'll do a questionnaire with you and make custom recommendations. So many ways to approach it. But the way I think about things, and I think Joe and Adam both think this way as well. It's like you got to get your limitations out of the way. And when you get online and you see these companies that are doing these there's lots of companies that will give you strip packaging, right? But they're not pharmacists, and they're not willing to do it on a one-on-one basis and give you. I can talk to Todd and say, here's what I would recommend for you. This is what I would do if it were me. This is what I would give you. So that's a differentiator, and I just love the ability to do that. When you see all these other companies online, I mean, not to throw pure encapsulations under the bus, but they have a quiz on their website. It's a really great quiz. It's extensive. But then you get to the end of the quiz, and they just give you a huge list of bottles that you can buy that may benefit you. And it's like, oh, here's $1,000 worth of stuff that you need to sift through and figure out for yourself. It kind of steers them in the right direction, but they're buying different quantities. Some of these bottles will last them 6 months. Some of them will last them 2 months. Some will last them 2 weeks. When you're doing it with us, you're buying 30 days, so you're not buying any more that you need. We don't charge them anything extra for the packaging. So you're getting a 30-day supply, and also you can opt into subscriptions. So we have people all the way across the country that every 30 days we're sending them packs. And some of these people that understand the value of being proactive, that's a whole different conversation, but that's the way people think these days. People don't like pharmaceuticals, but these people that understand it, that are really invested in their health, they're buying $200 packs of supplements for us on a 30-day cycle, and we're shipping it across the country to them. Yep. And I ship for free anywhere, everywhere. I don't care if you're in Singapore, Germany, Japan, whatever. That's not a great business move, I'm sure, but if people, I'm so proud of our little pharmacy's brand being out there. I'm like, if these people are going to wake up every morning and look at my logo and take something because of something they watched about me, I'll spend $40 on shipping, and maybe sometimes I'll lose $5, but
Easton, you have fused the Amazon way of commerce taking place and what people expect, because that's what they're used to. You have fused that with community pharmacy, with the personal touch. And I think that's why you're seeing so much success, because you've met people where they are. They want the fast, they want the go, they want to go on and order what they're going to order. But there's so much transparency in your system that they can pick out their own packs. They can literally build out their own based on your recommendation. So there's the trust of the pharmacist, which you've capitalized on, #1 trusted healthcare professional, and you've leveraged the technology in order to deliver the infrastructure and deliver the services that we know Amazon's doing, and now you're competing with them and you're beating them. So
yeah, it's all, when I hear you say that, it's all about value, and if you're commoditized, then value just comes down to cost alone. And I try to create as much value as I can for our audience and our patients, but that doesn't, I'm not looking at it from a cost standpoint. I'm creating value and by differentiating myself and providing something that I don't think many other people are doing and are willing to do.
Easton, Bryant, North Century Pharmacy, you're a champion of community pharmacy. We're so glad that you were part of this, and we thank you for interviewing with us and being here today.
It's been an honor. Appreciate it.